Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh, and a very good day, especially to Dr. Roshita binti Abdul Razak. My name is Fakrul Izzat bin Hizam, and my metric number is 269616. So today I will present about my individual assignment. Okay, so what is MICE industry? So today the industry of meeting, incentive, conferences and exhibitions, commonly known under the name of MICE, contribute to academic diversification and actively stimulates the rational use of cultural, historical and natural recreational resources. It is a business tourism at its finest, aimed at bringing together top professionals from every sector in an enhanced tailor-made hospitality setting. So, I will talk about the potential benefit of the convention to the host country, specifically Malaysia. So, as tourism members continue to grow as a local resistance to the resulting impact becomes more of a factor in many destinations, thought tend to how best to high-grade the visitor traffic in order to get the most benefit with the least pain. So this is where conversation and exhibition collectively known as the meeting industry that may offer the best option for the host country, especially Malaysia, looking to optimize the revenue benefit while at the same time looking to their broader economic and social policy aspiration for the betterment of the local community. So first one of the potential benefit of the convention is enhance Malaysia exposure and image. So, major events attract global attentions, whether within a specialized audience or when the world as a whole is watching what is going on. This raises Malaysia's profile and prestige, particularly when the achievement of a hosted group relate to the policy objective of a local governments. Second is generate future tourism. Delegates are people who might otherwise never have become to conference destination, and thus a whole new market for future visits. So many studies have shown that the experience they have a while attending the event can and thus result in repeat visits, often with the family in tow, not to mention the pre and post, which is conference travel that accompanies many conventions themselves. Thirdly is support academic policy in priority areas. So conferences and conventions focus global attention on the host community and associate it with the topic being addressed. When those areas are related to local priorities for academic and social developments, the host city has an opportunity to position itself and its related industry and institution on a global stage and to make a statement about its own commitments and intention in key sector to an audience of potential supporter and investor. Lastly is valuable source of new talents. So many service cities are realizing that a major conference can be one of the best available tools for attracting and assessing a global perspective that represent the future of key sectors. For example, of an opportunity to encourage them to relocate to the community. So this can be one of the most effective and cost effective way of reinforcing other economic development initiative. So I think the more is better approach to the visitor economy is being questioned in many quarters this day, and with good and growing reasons. When it comes to securing the most benefit from any given category of visitor, I think they recommend that smart city are beginning to figure out with you is to their advantage. Now we talk about the impact of COVID-19 pandemic to the meeting, incentive, convention, and event exposition MICE industry. So first one is pandemic adjustment. Some headline event were postponed in 2020 until after the pandemic subsides, including the UN Climate Change Conference COP26, which was to serve as the deadline for the country to meet emission reduction commitment under Paris Agreement. The event initially planned for October 2020 was rescheduled to November 2021 to enable countries to focus their resources on the health crisis. However, with much of the global workforce shifting to the digital sphere, some government and multilateral bodies have moved submit online. Major virtual events during 2020 include the G20 Leaders Summit in March of that year, which aimed to coordinate members of COVID-19 response strategy. Elsewhere, the 36th ASEAN Summit was hosted by the Vietnam via video conference in June, facilitating discussion on post-pandemic recovery plans throughout the regions. So, second is future projections. As with the majority of COVID-19 related adaptations, it remains to be seen whether changes in the MICE segment will continue once the health treated has subsided. So, a swift pivot to online platform can virtually bridge some of the interactive gaps caused by restriction on mass congregation and should therefore help to soften the blow of COVID-19 on the MICE segments. So, Managing Director, which is at Gallinero, which hosts investment-focused event for the industry professional. So, yet early sign of the desire to return the traditional event and the implementation of health guidelines to facilitate a return to in-person meeting may regional industry player of the prospect for recovery as restriction is and global travel resumes. Lastly is new normal. New normal is regardless of the appeal of the traditional event, a virtual strategy enable exhibitor and speaker to reach a wider audience without the need for participants to travel. This could lead to broader range of event offering remote attendance option in the future, particularly as people around the world become more familiar with online communication software like streaming, technology, and the cost-saving aspect of remote gathering. Indeed, this blended model may provide a buffer against COVID-19 related cancellation in the medium term, as some countries may need to return restriction amid fluctuation case number. Furthermore, remote option can be monetized, offering an additional revenue stream to help MICE hosts in the recovery phase. Next, how new normal practices are implemented to the MICE industry. So, the impact of COVID-19 on the MICE industry is nothing short of a catastrophic, but in its wake, the pandemic left valuable lesson that serve as opportunity in reinventing and improving even in post-pandemic era. So, first one is adapt to changes. So, similar to how living organisms survive, businesses and engage in MICE must also learn how to adapt to changes around them. And the rapid changes society underwent during the pandemic were reminders themselves. Possessing skill for adaptation enable event organizers to be more flexible to respond unforeseen developments and to some extent jump on new opportunity that could contribute to growth. So, MICE sector advised to prepare for a in demand for experiences based on the real and actual connection like trade shows and a slight departure from the dominant virtual activity. So people are tired of being at home in lockdown. So everything is affecting that. So I think the best way is going to be there will be more interaction in the term of travel and the MICE industry. So there will be some complementary aspect like digital platform, but actual trade shows will be never replaced. Second is customer-oriented innovation. For the event industry, the COVID-19 stressed the importance of having the right kind of innovation in order to thrive during times of uncertainty and volatility. We are looking for the right technologies, the right features that would enable the exhibitor to have effective communication or connect with the trade buyers. So a Kuala Lumpur-based startup is a business matchmaking online platform for event organizer. It is CEO shared during Crescent Ratings conference session that identifying what their clients are looking for during the pandemic ultimately prevented them from closing down. So thirdly is moving forward with the best practices in mind. So things are indeed looking bright for the event industry as it's set to return to pre-pandemic level. But expert believe organizers and delegates must apply the best practices they implemented in coping with the crisis to improve event in the future. So I think this pandemic may be really unprecedented, but it has provided us the opportunity to move forward in a better way. So putting significant on health and hygiene protocol is highly encouraged moving forward. So lastly is event safety regulation are strict. So to put everyone at rest following COVID-19, such rigorous measure will be required, such as thermal scanning at entrances, the installation of hand washing, sanitizing, frequent cleaning of event grounds, the requirement of face masks, emission control, and 1 meter social separations would all become new normal when attending a MICE events. So I think that's all for me. I also provide references at the second last page. I think that's all from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.